years ago and a handful of people, Avenue began in Las Vegas. And in 3 years, we have seen generations impacted by stepping into their God-given purpose. In just 3 years, we're seeing people ignited and spreading the love, the hope, and the grace of Jesus like never before. I believe that this year is our year, the year of overflow. We're equipping people of all ages to know God, to find freedom, to discover their purpose, then go make an eternal difference. We've created an overflow culture of Christ-centered worship at Avenue. It always has, it always will be about Jesus. He fills us, He restores us, He heals us and propels us into a God-given destiny to reach the world, to change the world, and we are ready. We are prepared. We are just getting started. This city is ready to see an overflow of God's love like never before. We're not finished. We're not done. We're not backing down. This is just the beginning. God has just begun because this is the year of overflow.
Good morning, Avenue, and welcome to Church Online. My name is Lorenzo, and man, we are just so excited that you're here with us today. Church Online wouldn't be the same without you. We would love to see you face to face to chat and connect, and we know that we will get to again soon. But it means the world to us when you chat with us in the comments, when you like the video, and when you share it. We've had the amazing opportunity to reach thousands of people each week through our online platforms, which means that more and more people than ever before are hearing about the life-giving message of Jesus. And we couldn't do it without you, church. So we thank you for your sharing. We thank you for connecting. And a matter of fact, who's tuning in with us today? We would love to see you. Drop a comment in the chat window wherever you're watching from. We would love to hear from you. You know, one of our favorite things to do each Sunday is to check out how you are enjoying Church Online. You guys are crushing it with tagging us on Instagram, on our kids page, on our main Facebook page, and we want to keep it going. Do us a favor, snap a quick photo this morning of your Church Online view, or maybe you and your quarantine crew, and tag us on social media today. We can't wait to check those out. Well, church, it's going to be a great day. We're about to hop into worship to kick off today's Church Online experience. Then Pastor Lindsay is going to bring an incredible word after that, so let's get into it.
That once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet. Now at His feet we bow. Who wore our sin and shame, now robed in majesty. The radiance of perfect love now shines for all to see. In your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. In your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. That held us now gives way to Him who is our peace. His final breath upon the cross is now alive in me. In your name All praise will rise to Christ our King. In your name is victory. And all praise will rise to Christ our King. Oh, yeah. By your Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. By your Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. He's resurrecting me. The tomb where soldiers walked in vain was borrowed for 3 days. This body there would not remain. Our God has robbed the grave. Our God has robbed the Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Oh.
Can't go back to the beginning. I can't control what tomorrow will bring, but I know here in the middle is the place where you promised to be. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? And as I walk now through the valley, let your love rise above every fear, like the sun shaping the shadow. And in my weakness your glory appears. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? Oh, 'cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Oh, I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Oh, meet us here again. Meet us here again. Not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Oh, you're here with us. Oh, you're here with us. And I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again?
Meet us here.
We hope you're enjoying yourself at Church Online today. We are going to have an amazing day, and we couldn't be more excited you're here. My name is Alita, and I have the honor of serving here at Avenue Church. Before we jump into the word today, I want to tell you about what's going on at Avenue this week. I love Matthew 18:20. It says, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them." It's so important to know that even in these times of social distancing and physical separation, that we can join together with each other online to move mountains with prayer. If you would like prayer today, we have options for you. If you would like to submit a prayer request digitally, you can do so by texting Avenue to 702-727-8280. We are going to send you the link where you can send us your confidential prayer request, or you can connect with a prayer team member live after the service today for the over-the-phone prayer or face-to-face through the Zoom link. Be sure to keep an eye on the comments at the end of the service for that link. Our prayer team and pastoral staff would be honored to pray for you. We believe there is so much power in community church. It has been so good to see so many of you joining online Zoom groups. Let's hear from one of our awesome small group leaders and see how their groups are going.
Good morning, Avenue. My name is Brittany, and I'm a part of 2 groups here at Avenue Church. I'm a part of a ladies' small group, and I co-lead Avenue Youth. Now, what I love about small groups, especially in this season, is that we have an opportunity to connect through Zoom. We can joke together, laugh together, but most importantly, we can really talk about what's going on in our lives. And we can do that with a face-to-face connection because we are truly better together. If you'd like to join in on community, make sure to join a Zoom small group today.
That was so cool. Thank you, Brittany. We have some incredible leaders who are committed to spending time encouraging you, sharing scripture with you, praying for you, and connecting with you. I love a quote from our pastors earlier this week. We don't have to have all the answers, but being there for one another is so important. We encourage you to take your next steps and get signed up today. Be sure to click the link in the comments and find a group that works best for you. With everything going on in the world, it's easy to get caught up in the news feeds and notifications, and it can be hard to live in faith rather than fear without an encouraging voice in your life. This season has encouraged us to invest more time in connecting through our online platforms, and we want you to be a part of the fun. Join us live weekdays at 1 p.m. on our Facebook page for a time of community and a word hosted by our pastors. Also, we have some new faces who will be popping into our live stream, so we encourage you to make it a point to join us online throughout the week as well. We can't wait to see you there. At Avenue, our heart is that you would know God, find freedom, discover purpose, and make a difference. And though our circumstances have changed, our vision has not. Many of you are making a difference through online engagement, sharing content, and getting connected in community through small groups. These things are so important, church. We have reached nearly 2,000 homes across the valley each week with Church Online. And behind each of those views is a person, a family, or maybe even a group of friends that gets to be a part of Church Online. We are so thankful to reach people for Jesus in times such as this. But we couldn't do any of this without your generosity. We thank you for your faithful giving because it is truly making a difference, church. Just last week, we were able to donate N95 masks to Southern Hills and Sunrise Hospital, and the best is yet to come. Maybe this is your first time tuning in, and again, we encourage you, feel no obligation to give. This online experience was our gift to you. But if you would like to give, there are multiple ways you can do so. You can go online to avenuechurch.cc/give, or you can text any amount to 84321 to partner with us today. We never ask for a specific amount. We just ask that you would say, Lord, what would you have me do? And simply just be obedient and follow through with whatever God has asked you to do. Well, church family, that's all I have for you today. Let's welcome Pastor Lindsay for the word.
Hello, my name is Lindsay Bosma, and I am thrilled to be with you today. Last week, we kicked off a brand new series of talks called Quarantine Living, and we're not shying away from the realities of living in this condition, and we are hearing back about how grateful people are that we are getting real about what's happening living in quarantine. See, living in quarantine, it's temporary. Remind yourself, it's temporary. It's not permanent, but we cannot deny that it's having an effect on us. Fuses are shorter, frustrations are higher, emotions resemble a roller coaster ride. And as the rider, hello, we're wondering, when is this ride going to end? Have you ever been on a ride that you thought would never end? Last year, I took a girls' trip to Disneyland to celebrate my best friend's 40th birthday. And if you have never gone to Disneyland without your children, you are missing out because it's amazing. And this lady right here had guilt-free fun. It was so much fun. And we all have a favorite ride at Disneyland. You're probably thinking about yours right now. In fact, I want you to comment right now and let me know what your favorite ride is. See, when you have a favorite ride, it's the ride that you want to go on first. And if there's not a crazy line when you get off, you're going right back on it, right? See, my friend and her mom could not wait to go on their favorite ride. They were getting all giddy just thinking about it, and they told me, "You're gonna love this ride. It is the best ride ever." Well, I remember turning the corner at California Adventure, and there it was, Guardians of the Galaxy, formerly known as Tower of Terror. Have you ever been on that ride? Y'all are crazy. Like, I so badly wanted to skip that ride. Come on, I will hold the purses. I wanted to be that friend. But my friend's mom was going on this ride. My friend's mom has 6 grandchildren, and this is her favorite ride, and my competitive nature just started to kick in, and I thought, well, if she can do it, so can I. So I strapped myself in that seat, and I am proud to say, I almost died. My friends are giggling and laughing, and I am trying my best to get into a fetal position while strapped into a belt. Like, I wanted to scream, but when you are dropping 1 billion feet, nothing comes out of your mouth. Every time I thought the ride was going to end, the evil little minions that operate it would bring us up again and drop us. I was literally begging for this ride to be over and asking, like, when is this gonna end? See, some of you right now, you just want to yell out, when is quarantine living going to be over? When is this crisis going to end? Does that sound familiar? Is that a familiar feeling? Because come on, you're not alone. So you've probably heard the term, we're all in the same boat. And although that's a familiar term, I do not think it's the best term to describe our current condition. What rings more truth is this: we're all in the same storm, but we are not in the same boat. Friends, your boat is different than my boat. And my boat is not the same as the person living down the street. We are all weathering the same storm, but we are not weathering it in the same circumstances. Our resources are not the same. Our strengths and our weaknesses are never gonna be identical. For some, your boat is a force to be reckoned with. It is stockpiled, it is strong, it can handle a beating. But for some, they may feel their boat is barely staying together. In fact, by the time that quarantine living is over, there are some that may be floating to shore on one single broken piece of wood. See, we are all in this same storm, but our boats are different. And in times like this, it's tempting to compare. Can I talk to you for a moment as your friend and as your pastor? Can I talk to you for a moment about comparison? Specifically, social comparison. See, we're hearing social distancing over and over again. But the problem is that while we're physically staying away from others and distancing ourselves socially, we're looking too close at other people's lives and comparing socially. We're staying away through social distancing, but we are looking too close by social comparison. See, it's too easy to get on social media and see what others are doing during this time. Oh, that person, they're working out and they've lost 10 pounds. I've gained 2. No way, she's making meals for her family every night. Oh, they look happy. They're hiking as a family. Why hasn't our family hiked? Look at their birthday parade. I didn't plan a birthday parade. Oh my God, what am I gonna do for the birthday? Like, all these things are happening and we find ourselves comparing our lives to another person's lives. Do you know that comparisons, they can be informative? Someone can post something and we can learn something and maybe even get inspired. But comparisons are almost always discouraging because someone's always gonna end up at the bottom. We can't measure how we are doing based on how someone else is doing. And when we're in the same storm but not in the same boat, we can't evaluate our lives and answer the question, how am I doing in quarantine living, based on how I see someone else living during this time. See, social comparison, it will not help you. It's actually going to hurt you. We end up judging ourselves or judging others based on a picture with a caption. And here's the problem with that. Psychologist Dr. Carolyn Carr explains that there's 3 reasons why social comparisons are so wrong. Number 1, comparisons turn friends and allies into rivals. Comparison robs us of the feeling happy for someone and their accomplishments. It can stop us from sharing joy with a friend or a family member when a good thing comes their way. If we use others as a benchmark to evaluate ourselves, jealousy can creep in and it finds its way into our hearts and our minds, and that may undermine our ability to truly cherish the good things that come to others. See, social comparisons are wrong. Another reason is because life isn't fair. It's not fair. And the sooner we realize that reality, it's gonna change the way we handle this season, because too many of us are sitting in the seat of victim when we are comparing our lives to others. And if we realize just the truth behind it, that life is not fair, we'll stop the comparisons, we'll stop the justification, and we'll just recognize the truth. And the third thing, it's just super, super important, and it's a trap that we all fall into, is that pictures are often perfect illusions. Pictures are often perfect illusions. We do not know the stories behind the pictures that we see. We may see a perfectly baked meal, but what you didn't see is the fight with the family to actually get them to sit down and eat it together. If we knew the other's whole truth, we might not feel so inadequate when it comes to comparing ourselves to their perfect picture. One way to stop the comparison right now is to take a break from social media. The world is gonna continue without you, and it's gonna be okay. But if you find yourself being overwhelmed with feelings like, I'm not doing a good enough job, I'm not a good enough mom, I'm not an involved enough dad, I'm not working hard enough, if you find yourself feeling worse about yourself or even shaming others because of the perfect pictures that you're seeing on social media, hit the pause button. Stop scrolling and move on to something different. You know, instead of being all about social media, there's something really fun that you can do. Instead of comparing ourselves to other people's lives, what if we had a healthy competition within our own households? Let's go to Pastor Jeremy real quick, because he's got a super fun quarantine challenge that he wants to share with you.
Hey, good morning, Avenue. You know, my family and I, we love a show on Netflix called Nailed It. And so what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna bake real quick, because instead of comparing like in today's message, let's go ahead and compete with one another. A healthy competition in our home, or maybe you could FaceTime somebody and said, you know what? I challenge you on today's quarantine challenge. Because there's 3 benefits to a competition. The first thing that it does is that it'll begin to motivate you. It'll get us out of the monotony of this daily quarantine. But the second thing that it does is that it promotes creativity. Let's go ahead and get those juices flowing and say, you know what? Maybe I really can create something. And the third thing that it does for us today is that it'll create quality time with those that we love. And so why don't you go ahead and maybe bake a cake or a cupcake, a pancake, and I want you to throw it in the oven, and I want you to go ahead and have a competition with those that you love. Oh, look at that. Nailed it.
Thank you, Jeremy. That was awesome. You know, when I think about comparison, I often think of Mary and Martha. And I want to take you just real quick to Luke chapter 10. Check this out. It says, as Jesus and the disciples continued on their journey, they came to a village where a woman welcomed Jesus into her home. Her name was Martha, and she had a sister named Mary. Mary sat down attentively before the Master, absorbing every revelation he shared. So in other words, she's sitting at the feet of Jesus and she's listening and talking to him, okay? But Martha became exasperated by finishing the numerous household chores in preparation for her guests. So she interrupted Jesus and said this, Lord, don't you think it's unfair, right? Comparisons, right? Happening right here. Don't you think it's unfair that my sister left me to do all the work by myself? Life isn't fair. I'm feeling like a victim. I'm comparing myself. You should tell her to get up and help me. So the Lord answered her, Martha, my beloved Martha, why are you so upset and troubled, pulled away by all these many distractions? Are they really that important? Mary has discovered the one thing most important by choosing to sit at my feet. She is undistracted, and I won't take this privilege from her. Now hear me, friends, you think I'm probably gonna go in a direction and you're assuming what I'm about to say, but I wanna say 2 very important things to you when it comes to this story. Both women, number one, both women were so loved by God. Incredibly loved by God. Jesus said, Martha, my beloved. He's calling out to her, even in her comparison to her sister. He's telling her how much she's loved. So number one, both women were completely loved. Number 2, Martha and Mary are 2 very different people. See, Jesus told Martha that Mary chose the better thing. Now, universally, as a Christian, we all need to spend more time with Jesus. He is our hope, He is our strength, and time with Him is invaluable, and hear me, it's irreplaceable. There's no substitute for it. Martha was comparing. Friends, stop comparing. Stop comparing. See, the way that I'm looking at this story is I'm realizing that in crisis, in our current pandemic and living in quarantine, some of you may need to be busy like Martha. Some of you may need to be distracted with the chores and the projects. Hear me, you're still spending time at Jesus' feet. But to get through the remainder of the day and not just a moment, you have permission to be busy. You have permission to pick up projects, but don't forsake meeting with Jesus. But maybe also you're like Mary, and Mary has a unique personality, very different from Martha, and you need to relax. Maybe you don't need to be busy with things. Maybe that helps anxiety rise up in you, and instead you need to chill. Guess what? You have permission to do that during this crisis. Do not compare. It's the same storm, but it's the different boat. You have a unique personality, handcrafted by God with gifts and strengths. You are incredibly human. We have flaws, we have weaknesses, and what works for one person may not work for you. And hear me, friends, that's okay. Spend time with Jesus, but how you get through this crisis, whether you are busy or whether you are relaxing, you don't need to compare. You're different, and you are extremely loved by God. You don't have to have the best boat. You don't have to have the cleanest boat, or the most creative boat, or the boat with the best food. I just want you to get to shore. Do you hear me? I just want you to get to shore. You know, Jesus and His disciples were in a storm. This may be a very familiar story that you remember hearing in church, or maybe even as a child. But one day, Jesus and His disciples were in a boat. They went on a boat one evening, and a huge storm came in. And there were waves crashing back and forth, and water was coming up on the boat, and the disciples were freaking out. And we know this story because Jesus was sleeping. Now y'all are remembering it, huh? Jesus was sleeping, and disciples woke Him up, all freaked out. Do you even care about us? And see, we know this story, it's familiar, but I want to point out something that I think is so important. I believe that we can know this story with familiarity, but we can miss something that is so incredibly significant, and it's in the very beginning of the story. It says this. In Mark chapter 4, it says, that day when evening came, He said to His disciples, let's go over to the other side. Leaving the crowd behind, they took Him along just as He was in the boat. And check this. There were also other boats with Him. Did you catch that? Same storm, same dilemma, but different boats. See, the difference is in our lives today is that Jesus is not just on one boat, come on, traveling to the other side. He is on every single boat. Jesus is not just present on Jeremy and Lindsay's boat. He is actually present at the same time on Robert and Christina's boat. In the same storm, He is physically present on Mark and Ambrosia's boat, while simultaneously being aboard Brenda's boat. How great is the love of our God? How amazing and infinite is His power that He is able to be fully present in my life during this crisis, ministering to me and my family while fully existing and working in the lives of every man, woman, and child who believe in Him. Same storm, different boat. Same storm, different boat. Ever-present God. Come on, that is amazing. There is the other side of this crisis. And you and I, we will reach the shore. Hear me, friends. You will reach the shore. But it's not going to be what it was before. We're crossing over to something new, but we're going to make it to shore. And if you're watching today and you are navigating this storm called COVID in your own boat without God, I would like to help you and to invite Him into your life. See, none of us have to weather this crisis alone. Not only are we doing it in community, but we're doing it with Jesus Christ on our boat in the middle of a storm. See, Jesus greatly desires to go through this with you. In just a moment, we're going to say a prayer together. And I would love if every person in every home or car or wherever you are watching from, if you would say this prayer out loud with me. There's no secret sauce in the words. It's what the words represent. It should represent a cry of my heart saying, I am not perfect and I am in need of a Savior. And I don't know about you, but I would never want to go through any crisis, any storm without Jesus in my life, in my boat with me. So would you all do me a favor? Would you pray with me today? Every person, every mouth, out loud with this. Say, Dear Jesus, I need you. Thank you for dying on the cross. Thank you for paying for what I did. I receive your forgiveness. Forgive me of my sins and be Lord of my life. Be number one. With all my heart, the best way I know how, I am going to live for you. I now know who I am. Come on, I am saved. I am redeemed. I am a child of God. Ever-present God. Come on, same storm, different boats. Ever-present God. I would love for you to text me personally if you took that step of faith and you asked Jesus to come into your life. Text me at 702-727-8280 because I want to celebrate with you and I want to connect you to resources that'll help build that relationship with God. It's so exciting. Just remember, friends, with what we're going through, same storm, different boats, but we love and serve an ever-present God.
Wow, that was incredible. Come on. Maybe you're watching online right now and you are in need of prayer, or you've accepted Jesus today and you would love for someone to pray over you. Our prayer team is live right now and they would love the honor of praying for you for whatever is on your heart today. All you have to do is tap the phone number in the comments and you'll be able to have someone pray for you right where you are today in one of our digital settings. If you feel comfortable, you also have live face-to-face prayer through Zoom and a link in the comments right now as well. Now, we are so thankful for our prayer team. We believe it is so important during this time of crisis to stay connected. Make sure that you're following us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram at Avenue LV Church, and you can find us on Facebook at Avenue Church as well. We are live Monday to Friday on our Facebook page at 1 p.m. and we want to invite you to come out and hang out with us, and we would love to encourage you. We'd love to get connected with you. It's super fun all around. But you can also connect with us on Instagram at Avenue LV Kids, or for your Avenue Kids Junior at Avenue LV Kids for your elementary kiddos, and at Avenue LV Youth for our Avenue students from 6th to 12th grade. Av Youth has a special service live on Thursday nights through Zoom that we would love for them to be a part of. Now, don't forget, we have groups for everyone, so you can actually browse our groups online by visiting avenuechurch.cc/next or by clicking the link in the comments. We encourage you to find a group that serves you best this week and to get connected with some life-giving community. We love you, church. We're praying for you, and we couldn't be happier to have spent this time together with you today. If Church Online has blessed you, we would love for you to share it on social media, but you never know how much someone in your circle might need to hear this word today. Guys, have an amazing week. We love you. We'll catch you at the after party today.